One introduction. RAWSEP View. The United States government was on track in the Biden administration to reduce the prices for both clean energy heat pumps and clean energy electric cars. Trump tariffs are expected to upset those plans to prevent future air pollution and prevent climate change. The United States government should, instead of certifying wood stoves as safe when they are not safe, go forward with regulations that ban wood stove use and direct government money for use of forest refuse only. For home building and furniture building, for just a few examples of use of forest products for non-burning uses, it is well known from scientific and medical research that wood burning is a substantial source of PM 2.5 emissions, yet the wood burning industry uses the scientifically debunked theory named carbon neutrality of wood burning to argue that wood burning replacing coal burning in industry and in a trickle-down argument that wood burning should continue for home heating should continue. Presumably because it is called renewable, wood may be renewable in the sense that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut-down burned tree, but it takes centuries or decades for the newly planted tree to attain the stature of the cut-down burned tree. During those centuries or decades, photosynthesis, which converts CO2 to oxygen and so sequesters some carbon, will not take place at the same rate as photosynthesis was performed previously, and wood burning emits both CO2 and PM 2.5, and PM 2.5 is not absorbed by trees, so PM 2.5 is not diminished by planting a tree in the place of a cut-down and burned tree. In fact, a living tree closes its pores against the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning, just as humans hold their breath in the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning. And when a tree closes its pores, the level of photosynthesis that absorbs CO2 pollution goes down. Wood burning emits 90% PM 2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lungs, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Contrary to many beliefs, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning, and wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Replacing coal burning with wood burning creates more air pollution in the form of CO2 and PM 2.5 than coal burning. This emission data comes from testing the cleanest burning wood stove in the United Kingdom, the Eco-Design Wood Stove, and International Convention does not count the emissions from wood burning. The emissions from wood burning are erased from all countries around the world when calculating if each country has met its climate goals. This non-counting or erasure of wood burning emissions data from climate goals does not mean wood burning emissions do not exist. RAWSEP View. Purple air. PM 2.5 monitors hanging from the eaves of the house of a near neighbor should be used to measure the level of PM 2.5 in the air hyperlocally in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. If PM 2.5 levels exceed World Health Organization standards of 5 micrograms per cubic meter annually, then that evidence of air pollution from wood burning should lead to the shutdown of that indoor residential wood burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary. Episode 57 DFV March 26, 2025 Louisiana March 29, 2025 Vote on Special LA Supreme Court Elections. In Episode 57 DFV 1, Louisiana 2, Wisconsin A wind power debate. In Wisconsin, a major Wisconsin wind power project generates controversy. 3 World, 4 United States, 5 Arkansas, 6 California, 7 Montana, 8 New York, 9 North Carolina, 10 Oklahoma, 11 Canada, 12 United Kingdom, 13 Czech Republic, 14 United Arab Emirates, 15 Uganda, 16 China, 17 PM 2.5 and human health. Main content. 1. Louisiana RAWSEP View. The question of whether to allow state Supreme Court justice partisan elections is on the ballot in Louisiana on March 29, 2025. If yes wins, there would be a change to allow special partisan elections for the Louisiana Supreme Court. Louisiana Democrats would like voters to vote no on this amendment. Would partisan special elections for the Louisiana Supreme Court be like nonpartisan elections for Wisconsin Supreme Court on April 1, 2025? A Louisiana special election for the Louisiana Supreme Court would be partisan, but in some cases the special elections could be held on Saturdays in Louisiana, which is not allowed in Wisconsin. RAWSEP View. See the map to see how all 50 states select their state Supreme Court justices. How could a Louisiana partisan special election for the Louisiana Supreme Court be different from the nonpartisan election for the Wisconsin Supreme Court on April 1, 2025? It could be a special election called as early as possible, which could be at a time that will probably be inconvenient or overlooked by many Louisiana voters, and so voter turnout might be low. What is the exact meaning, and what are the implications of the ballot measure allowing special elections of Supreme Court justices in Louisiana? Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. A 501c3 nonprofit organization. Louisiana Ballot Amendment. Ballotpedia March 25, 2025 Amendment 4. Amendment 4 would require judicial vacancies to be filled in a special election at the earliest available date under state law. If the vacancy occurs within 12 months of the next gubernatorial or congressional election, the special election would coincide with that election. This replaces the current law requiring a special election within 12 months of the vacancy. The Public Affairs Research Council of Louisiana Voter Guide cited arguments in support of the amendment. Amending the Constitution is a better approach than tweaking the closed primary law if the law is adjusted instead to allow the governor to call a special election that does not coincide with the regular election calendar. Louisiana could be forced to spend additional dollars to comply with the constitutional mandate to elect a new judge within a year. Say no. To Them All RAWSEP View is that the opposition called Say No. To Them All seems to be Louisiana Democrats Say No. To Them All said in opposition the move in Amendment 4 to change the election dates for judges is another ploy to make it easier for Baton Rouge politicians to get their friends elected when few voters are paying attention. To learn more about these amendments, have a look at our recent episodes of Ballotpedia Explains. We normally think of election days as events that happen in November, but the election calendar, particularly for state and local issues, is far more complex, with elections occurring at just about any time of year, including weekends, which is exactly what is happening this coming Saturday, March 29th from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. in Louisiana, There voters will decide on 4 constitutional amendments that address tax policy, judicial procedures, and juvenile justice laws. A 2/3 vote in each legislative chamber was required to put the amendments on the ballot. All 4 of the amendments were passed with all Republican legislators in favor, while most Democrats opposed them. 2. Wisconsin, a wind power debate. In Wisconsin, a major Wisconsin wind power project generates controversy. RAWSEP View, since Trump became president against in 2025 wind power, has fallen out of favor along political lines. RAWSEP excerpt from the article below. Shortly after retaking office, President Donald Trump issued an executive order that paused the leasing of offshore wind projects and halted the approval of any wind developments on federal land. RAWSEP overview. Travis Tranel, Republican, Wisconsin State Assembly Representative of Cuba City, and Howard Markline, Republican, Wisconsin State Senator from District 17, object to any wind power station greater than 15 megawatts. RAWSEP top excerpt from the article below. Along with son Howard Markline, Republican of Spring Green, Tranel has introduced legislation that would require local approval for state regulators to allow a wind or solar project of greater than 15 megawatts to proceed. RAWSEP View number 1. The objections to wind power on the grounds of damage to human health are not supported by scientific facts or medical facts. Noise from wind turbines does not cause cancer, as President Trump has repeatedly argued. Concerns about health problems such as nausea, tinnitus, and headaches have earned the moniker wind turbine syndrome. There is little scientific evidence that noise generated by wind turbines causes these problems, though there is limited evidence that they can cause sleep disturbance. Researchers believe many of these symptoms come from a heightened state of annoyance caused by the wind turbines rather than the machinery itself. RAWSEP View number 2. The objections to wind power on the grounds of property value reduction do not hold water. RAWSEP second top excerpt from the article below. Some said they worry the project would reduce their property values. Research has shown home values dip immediately after a project is announced, but eventually rebound. RAWSEP third top excerpt from the article below. Scientists agree turbine blades kill birds and bats, though scientists argue that far more birds and bats are killed by other causes such as domestic cats or buildings. RAWSEP View the nonprofit Clean Energy argues that we are in an energy crisis, and both wind and solar energy are cheap and clean rather than real concern about non-existent dangers to health and property values. It could very well be that Trump and Trump allies in Wisconsin are arguing against clean, cheap wind and solar energy because using those clean, cheap sources of energy takes money, making air-polluting business away from fossil fuel and solid fuel, such as would fuel energy power plant interest. RAWSEP View, of which local governments in Wisconsin have also objected to wind energy production. The Iowa Grant School Board passed a resolution in December requesting the project be moved away from one of the district schools in Mifflin. State law requires wind turbines be sited at least 1,250 feet or a quarter mile away from schools. Ross Leish, the school board president, said some turbines were set to be 0.4 miles from the school, which is allowed by the law, and Clifton local officials passed an ordinance that smaller-scale wind projects cannot have turbines taller than 500 feet. RAWSEP View advocates for wind and solar energy also say it is reliable and cost-effective. Could local governments be influenced by big fossil fuel companies, despite wind and solar being a boon for local farmers? Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. A 501c3 nonprofit organization. Capital Times, March 26, 2025. In 2018, when developers wanted to build the largest solar farm in Wisconsin partly on his land, a farmer took their offer. Now his property is part of another massive renewable energy project proposed for southwest Wisconsin. If approved by state regulators, the Badger Hollow project would be the first major new wind farm in the state in over a decade. The farmer, whose land could be used for a transmission line carrying power generated by the turbines, said farmers recognized the project as an opportunity. The Badger Hollow project would build as many as 19 wind turbines over 5 towns in western Iowa County and eastern Grant County, about an hour west of Madison. Developers say the project would provide 118 megawatts of power to customers in the Madison and Milwaukee areas when completed by 2027. Advocates for clean energy say wind generation is more reliable and cost-effective than other types of power, but some people who would live near the turbines are contesting the proposed development. Concerns range from fears about health hazards to flickering lights. In Wisconsin, the Public Service Commission regulates energy production in the state. One local critic wrote, "The developer Invenergy can destroy the environment." The developer has pointed to the scores of landowners who have signed up to participate in the project, as well as the economic impact for the region. Wind is part of a state carbon-free goal. Federal data shows there are 18 wind projects already operating in Wisconsin, with many of the turbines concentrated in the southwest and the south-central part of the state. Those projects play a role in keeping the lights on across the entire state. In 2022, 19% of Wisconsin electricity was derived from wind. According to a report from the Public Service Commission, wind generation increased over 20-fold since 2015 and is one of the few types of energy projected to grow. Governor Tony Evers has set a goal for achieving carbon-free electricity consumption in Wisconsin by 2050. The Rural Energy Campaign Manager for Clean Wisconsin said large wind and solar projects, along with rooftop solar and other renewable energy efforts, are important in achieving the target. Proponents of renewable energy have pointed to neighboring Iowa, which generates over half of its electricity from wind, the highest of any state in the country. Wind power, however, has become increasingly political. Invenergy has said the project will generate nearly $600,000 in property tax revenue for county and local governments each year. In addition, developers must pay farmers to lease the land they use for solar panels or wind turbines. This comes out to $5,000 per megawatt per year for a landowner, and Invenergy estimates those payments could run into the millions of dollars over the life of the project. But more recent projects, such as the Badger Hollow Solar Farm, the largest in the state and developed by Invenergy, have soured things. Wisconsin law gives the final say on projects of 100 megawatts or more, such as Badger Hollow, to the Public Service Commission. PSC local officials can weigh in on what they think. The commission or PSC has at least 8 factors it must consider when evaluating Whether to approve or deny a renewable energy project, the factors include whether the site being considered is in the public interest and fits development planning in the area if there are major environmental impacts from the project, and whether it satisfies the reasonable needs of the public for an adequate supply of electric energy. To state Rep. Travis Tranel, Republican of Cuba City, restrictions on local input enacted by Democratic lawmakers in 2009 did not take into account the large scope of many of the projects proposed in Wisconsin. Over a decade later, Public Service Commission members are appointed by the Wisconsin governor and confirmed by the state Senate to serve 6-year terms. All 3 members of the current commission were appointed by Evers, a Democrat. A representative of Clean Wisconsin said, "We are in an energy crisis, and slowing down 2 of the cheapest forms of energy from being produced here in Wisconsin would not seem to do anything to help us address concerns about energy." 3 through 17 headlines from Google Alerts. 3. A world against clean energy. Can wood burning power stations ever be sustainable? Geographical magazine. Strikingly, burning wood actually produces more greenhouse gases than coal per unit of energy. More wood needs to be burned compared to fossil. 3B World Global PM 2.5 Inequality, a new framework for air pollution and ecology. Newswise, air pollution, particularly particulate matter PM 2.5, is a leading cause of premature deaths worldwide, contributing to millions of 3C. World where household air pollution causes the most harm. Think global health. Wood at a makeshift kitchen in a shelter for displaced people in smoke she inhaled while cooking every day. Billions of people around. 4A United States heat pumps. Can you afford a heat pump? This free tool can unlock $10,000 in government incentives for the cool down. The upfront investment may seem daunting, but government incentives and rebates can help you save thousands of dollars to make the switch. The Scoop. MSN, according to the Department of Energy, today's air source heat pumps can cut your electricity use for heating by up to 75% compared to furnaces. 4B United States heat pumps. Estimation of energy efficiency of heat pumps in residential buildings using real operation data. Nature. As heat pumps become more prevalent in residential buildings, effective performance monitoring is essential. Design flaws. Incorrect settings. 4C United States heat pumps. Heat pump water heater. Climate Hero. Yale Climate Connections. Western utilities are testing the potential of heat pump water heaters to heat up water during times when solar energy is abundant. 4D United States heat pumps. Here is where you can still get a rebate on heat pumps and home efficiency. The Washington Post. Upfront rebates available from the Inflation Reduction Act. Heat pump water heater, $1,750 efficiency rebates, $8,000, but some programs are still underway in several states, including one that gives homeowners thousands of dollars off a new heat pump electrical panel. 4E United States heat pumps. Homeowners rave about ultra-efficient water heater after Old Tang gives out MSN a heat pump water heater running in heat pump only mode has something near a 400% efficiency. One user wrote, with available rebates, you can 4F United States heat pumps against clean energy. How I failed to convince my parents to get a heat pump. CNET. First, some basics. A heat pump is a type of technology that works almost identically to an air conditioner or refrigerator, both of which pull heat. 4G United States heat pumps. How the IRA is influencing HVAC technology development. ACHR News. JCI's York HH818 side discharge modulating heat pump is targeted to maximize that rebate incentive as it gets a qualifying rating with a 97%. 4H United States heat pumps. New research makes stunning discovery about homes with heat pumps. Here is how much MSN upgrading your current HVAC system to a heat pump can feel daunting, but as this study shows, the benefits can be immense. New research makes 4I United States heat pumps PPL rebates available. The River Reporter. Did you make energy efficiency improvements or purchase a heat pump or other efficient appliance in your home in 2024? You might qualify for tax. 4J United States heat pumps. RMLD reading. Cooperative bank launch heat pump 0% interest loan program. American Public Power Association rebate option, as well as rebates for required weatherization in conjunction with the new heat pump system. Weatherization ensures customers. 4K United States against clean energy. Libertarian. Should PM 2.5 regulation be decentralized? Cato Institute. In the long term, they may create chronic health problems. Particulate matter, including PM 2.5, is regulated as one of 6 criteria. Air pollutants. 4L United States heat pumps. This window heat pump installs in just minutes. Here is how CNET say goodbye to electricians. Gradients. 120-volt all-weather heat pump heats and cools up to 500 square feet and plugs right into a standard. 4M United States heat pumps against clean energy. Trump rescinds Biden-era heat pump production order. ACHR News. These technologies included heat pumps, insulation transformers, and electric grid components. Invoking the DPA pave the way for more federal. 4N United States heat pumps. The Uber of heat pumps simplifies upgrades and cuts costs. It's going to save you hundreds. Yahoo. More and more homeowners are upgrading to ultra-efficient electrical appliances like heat pumps to lower their energy bills. Reduce the amount of 4O United States heat pumps against clean energy. Trump cancels Biden's heat pump crisis. Competitive Enterprise Institute. Heat pumps are the electric vehicles of home appliances. Both are grossly overhyped by environmental activists for their claimed climate benefits. And 4P United States U.S. National Interagency Fire Center wildfire update. As of March 21st, Forest Economic Advisors, LLC, burned 162,5566 acres. The 10-year average 2015 to 24 for the same time period is 7,517 wildfires and 541,7953 acres burned. FEA compiles the wood. 5 Arkansas. Northwest Arkansas Democrat Gazette. A light haze of wood smoke has hung over Little Rock the past day, where fires are reported burning in nearly every county in the state. 6A California. United States heat pumps. California has a plan to install 6 million heat pumps by 2030. Clean Technica. Heat pumps are similar to electric cars in many respects. They are new technology, and very few people really understand how they work. The name itself. 6B California. United States heat pumps. California unveils first state plan to unleash heat pumps. Canary Media. Last Monday, California paused its $290 million home energy rebate program, part of an $88 billion federally Funded initiative for heat pumps, and 6C California and Texas against clean energy. Carter leads bill reversing Biden's jobs killing air quality standards. Buddy Carter particulate matter PM 2.5 original co-sponsors include Reps Doug Lum Alpha, RCA August Pfluger RTX, and Randy Weber RTX. This bill will 6D California Los Angeles protect yourself from the dangerous haze of wildfire smoke. Los Angeles Times do not create smoke or bad air inside by smoking cigarettes, cigars, or pipes using gas, propane, or wood burning stoves or cookers. Spraying 6E California Riverside County breaking Gamble Avenue. Wood fire reported in Riverside County on March 22. Sacramento B. Gamble Avenue. Wood fire has been burning on private land at this time. There is no data on the containment status of the fire, and the cause is yet to be. 6F California wood burning ban in effect Friday in much of Southland. MSNA ban on indoor and outdoor wood burning will be in place Friday in much of the Southland due to a forecast of high air pollution in the area. 7 Montana University of Montana tribes join forces to protect air quality. KPX wood burning stoves for heat that gives many citizens here 2 distinct seasons for smoke pollution wildfire summers and wood burning winters. 8 New York Long Island United States heat pumps. PSEG Long Island extends $45 monthly bill assistance program. PG Stock News Stock Titan. The company also offers comprehensive energy saving tips and rebates for smart thermostats, LED bulbs, and high efficiency air source heat pumps. 9 North Carolina and South Carolina wildfires in the Carolinas burn more than 6,000 acres, prompting evacuations. A burn ban. CNN fire to stop the spread of the Deep Woods fire on Sunday. In Columbus, North Carolina, Allison Joyce. Getty Images. CNN high temperatures. Strong 9. B. North Carolina, Asheville, Polk County wildfires prompt evacuations, and air quality alerts. Disaster center reopens. WLOS Deep Woods. The fire originated off of Deepwood Lane and has burned a total of 1102 acres. The fire is 0% contained. One house was a complete. 9C North Carolina crews still battling Polk County fires. New evacuation orders added. WBTV. 3 fires. The Deep 9D North Carolina evacuations ordered as wildfires burn in Helene ravaged western North Carolina. New York Post. Meanwhile, the Deep Woods fire is the largest at 1802 acres and also remains 0% contained. Officials say evacuation orders are in place for several 9E North Carolina wildfires burn as helicopters firefighters navigate Helene damaged terrain. The Asheville Citizen Times. Plumes of smoke rise over the mountains along Green River Cove Road in Mill Springs Saturday, March 22, 2025 as crews work to dispel the Deep Woods 9F North Carolina wildfires. Prompt evacuation orders. NBC News. 2 firefighters stand on a road and look at a fire burning on the side of what fire had burned a little more than 1,700 acres, and the Fish 9G North Carolina wildfires scorched more than 2,000 acres. The New York Times. The largest 2 Black Cove, which was burning 1,239 acres, and Deepwood, which was burning 1,100 acres. We're at 0% containment. A9H North Carolina Winston-Salem large woods fire reported in Stokes County. Officials confirmed. WXI. A large woods fire has been reported in the Sandy Ridge area, according to officials with the South Stokes Fire and Rescue. Top stories. 10 Oklahoma Cache against clean energy. City of Cache passes new ordinance regarding bulk pickup. MSN. The City of Cache has passed a new ordinance concerning the disposal of bulk trash. Can I burn wood in my garden? What you need to know to get rid. 11 Canada heat pumps rebate offered for Manitobans to switch from oil heating to heat pump. Winnipeg Free Press. Winnipeg Free Press. A $250 bonus payment is also being offered. More information about the program, including who is eligible and how to apply, is available at WIPTO. 12 United Kingdom heat pumps web clean heat market mechanism. Heat pump installation certification. GovIC clean heat market mechanism. Heat pump installation certification. The process by which schemes can apply to be an approved certification scheme. 13 Czech Republic against clean energy. Can wood burning power stations ever be sustainable? Geographical magazine. A coal-fired power station opened in 1972. The Czech multinational company EPH purchased the plant in 2016. It now runs entirely on wood. The power. 14 United Arab Emirates exploring PM 2.5 and PM 10 ML forecasting models. A comparative study in the UAE Nature Particulate Matters. PM 2.5 presents a major health and environmental concern in urban regions. 15 Uganda smoke and survival. The hidden cost of cooking with firewood in Uganda. Daily Monitor. Burning firewood and charcoal releases carbon dioxide, black carbon, or soot, and methane into the atmosphere, all of which contribute to climate. 16 China characteristics and sources of PM 2.5 in diverse central China cities under various scenarios. Science Direct.com. PM 2.5 peaked in Zhengzhou and Anyang during the day. Xinjiang peaked at night. Secondary aerosols were the main sources of pollution in all 316 B. China national and provincial burden of disease attributable to fine particulate matter air pollution. The Lancet. Wang Q. Wang J. PMZ et al. A county level estimate of PM 2.5 related chronic mortality risk in China based on multi-model exposure data. 17A PM 2.5 and health effects. A systematic review with a burden of proof meta-analysis of health effects of long-term nature. Previous studies have indicated increased dementia risk associated with fine particulate matter PM 2.5 exposure. However, the findings are 17B PM 2.5 and lung function associations of ambient fine particulate matter with lung function and nasal microbiota. Science Direct.com. PM 2.5 could induce nasal microbiota dysbiosis in asthmatic children. A potential biological pathway linking PM 2.5 to respiratory dysfunction is 17C PM 2.5 and urban indicators. Urban form regulation for synergetic PM 2.5 and O3 control. A multi-indicator constrained. Science Direct.com. A higher sensitivity of PM 2.5 to changes in urban form indicators compared to O3 abstract air quality optimization. Simulation incorporating urban
1 Introduction RAWSEP View. The United States government was on track in the Biden administration to reduce the prices for both clean energy heat pumps and clean energy electric cars. Trump tariffs are expected to upset those plans to prevent future air pollution and prevent climate change. The United States government should, instead of certifying wood stoves as safe when they are not safe, go forward with regulations that ban wood stove use and direct government money for use of forest refuse only for home building and furniture building. For just a few examples of use of forest products for non-burning uses, it is well known from scientific and medical research that wood burning is a substantial source of PM 2.5 emissions, yet the wood burning industry uses the scientifically debunked theory named carbon neutrality of wood burning to argue that wood burning replacing coal burning in industry, and in a trickle-down argument that wood burning should continue for home heating should continue. Presumably because it is called renewable, wood may be renewable in the sense that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut-down burned tree, but it takes centuries or decades for the newly planted tree to attain the stature of the cut-down burned tree. During those centuries or decades, photosynthesis, which converts CO2 to oxygen, and so sequesters some carbon, will not take place at the same rate as photosynthesis was performed previously, and wood burning emits both CO2 and PM 2.5, and PM 2.5 is not absorbed by trees, so PM 2.5 is not diminished by planting a tree in the place of a cut-down and burned tree. In fact, a living tree closes its pores against the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning, just as humans hold their breath in the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning. And when a tree closes its pores, the level of photosynthesis that absorbs CO2 pollution goes down. Wood burning emits 90% PM 2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Contrary to many beliefs, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning, and wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Replacing coal burning with wood burning creates more air pollution in the form of CO2 and PM 2.5 than coal burning. This emission data comes from testing the cleanest burning wood stove in the United Kingdom, the Eco-Design Wood Stove. International Convention does not count the emissions from wood burning. The emissions from wood burning are erased from all countries around the world when calculating if each country has met its climate goals. This non-counting or erasure of wood burning emissions data from climate goals does not mean wood burning emissions do not exist. RAWSEP View. Purple air. PM 2.5 monitors hanging from the eaves of the house of a near neighbor should be used to measure the level of PM 2.5 in the air hyperlocally in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. If PM 2.5 levels exceed World Health Organization standards of 5 micrograms per cubic meter annually, then that evidence of air pollution from wood burning should lead to the shutdown of that indoor residential wood burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary.